It's time once again for that business show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Jamie is a leading Tampa Bay real estate agent and featured on the Wall Street Journal's list of top 100 real estate agents in the nation. Jamie invites you to list your home with him today and learn more at tampabayradio.com. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to That Business Show. Now with Jamie and Kelly, as we've introduced a new co-host here, Kelly Wilson, joining me alongside each and every morning. So we welcome Kelly Wilson in this morning. So good morning, Kelly.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
Thank you so much, and a good show planned for you on today's program. So we appreciate you all tuning in. The show growing very nicely and available all across the internet and on the airwaves. So if you ever miss a show, it is on iTunes as a podcast and also on YouTube, the high-definition video over there. And also you can watch it live each and every morning on tampabayradio.com as well. In studio with me up first this morning is Brooke Borup. She is the owner of My Clone Solutions. She's also the event planner for our upcoming business symposium, and then she's also planning another event that's going to be a very large event, Savor the Flavor, and we're going to be talking about that today in this segment. So, Brooke, welcome to the program today.
Thanks, Jamie. Thanks for having me. Hi, Kelly. Hi.
So first off, you've been in event production for many years. Let's just talk a little bit about your background first.
So I moved to Tampa Bay in 2007, and I worked for the hotels. So I got to produce events from inside the hotels and learn all about event planning that way. And then when I decided to leave corporate America and start my own business, that just kind of resonated through everything that I did, and started with TBBO in, 2013.
Yeah, you've been planning events for TBBO since Chris founded, like 8 years ago? Right?
No, just 3 years.
Oh, just 3 years. Okay. So you got
Before
involved.
that, he did it himself.
He was doing it himself. It's a lot to do, because I've just, in learning, what goes into event planning, there's so many connections involved. You got to know the different venues. You got to learn about audio, video, things that I probably would have overlooked. How to use promotional partners in an event. I mean, there's so many different things. How did you learn all these different event planning techniques, such as the use of promotional partners, for instance?
So you learn a lot from your clients and their strengths, of course, but on the hotel side, you learn about communication. When you are in a hotel that has 500 sleeping rooms and 15,000 square foot of meeting space, and you have staff everywhere, it's all about communication and getting the staff to do what needs to be done, and the vendors to do what needs to be done, and the attendees to do what needs to be done, and managing that whole process and managing where people are at and going. So it's really, when you say event production, it's really a symphony of making things happen so that at the end of the day, everybody comes away from the event happy.
Yeah, one of the things that I learned early on, I see why TBBO is such a success with their events, is the use of promotional partners. And Chris and yourself have developed relationships with the different chambers. You market them as a promotional sponsor. You do a little trade in the process, and you get them to market the event to their network as well. And you do it for them in exchange for your major events. And it really ups the turnout at events. Something, if I was planning my first event, I would not think to do something like that. That's where experience comes in. Talk to us a little bit more about some of the other tips or tricks of the trade that you can do in event production to get people to events. That's always the biggest thing. How do you get people to your events?
All right, so ticket sales. So whether it's a free event or a ticketed event, you really are going to go about it as creatively as you possibly can. Everybody knows about having printed materials and having printed materials that look good and look professional. That is the number one thing. Nick Print always says, friends don't let friends print at home. And it's 100% true. Whether it's event planning or business cards or whatever, please get them professionally printed so that people think that you're real, right? Mm-hmm. Even if it's your first year. Then when you use your promotional partners, you have to find them and create those relationships. Some chambers make you be members, so you may have to, pony up and get in there and be a member and be active in that chamber in order to get in. I like to have sponsors. And so when my sponsors are members of those chambers, they get the promotion. I, as my clone solution, don't need the promotion for my events. All I need is the promotion for the event itself.
Right.
And so I am happy to give that to Lux Picture down in the Brandon area, and CRG Consulting in Riverview, and AL Saland Insurance in Pasco County. So,
important sponsors.
Exactly. They're all working with me to help get the word out, because if I'm looking to have 5,000 people at an event, I'm going to need help with that.
Right.
What do you recommend for, controlling the registration? I think the default for somebody who doesn't have, a lot of events going on, they'll just use Eventbrite. What are some other solutions for managing ticket sales and registration?
Honestly, for people that don't do it very often, Eventbrite is an amazing system. They have everything built in for you, and yes, you pay for that, but it's all there. It's very easy to use, even for somebody that's not technical. Once you get into event planning and you are doing things all the time, then you'll have your own system for it where you don't have to pay fees, and so that you can control content more. But for those people that are going first off, doing a small conference, large conference, anything business or community related, Eventbrite is an amazing system, and they've put a lot of money into it.
What are some good venues in the area for large events like 200-300 and up? T. Pepin comes to mind. The a la carte pavilion, which is now in some sort of a transition. I don't even know, but it's still available for an event space now since that deal fell out, right?
Yes, a la carte.
Was it purchased?
Well, a la carte right now is back with the Shriners.
Okay.
So the Shriners are running it, and they do have staff that are selling it. They don't have a full kitchen staff anymore, so it's outside catering only. Of course, you said T. Pepin, Puff and Stuff is their catering company there. The new Glacier JCC building that's going to be opening in December is exciting.
Yeah, that's down on Howard or Armenia, one of those two streets down there in South Tampa.
Absolutely.
That's going to be a very large event space available.
It is, and it's multi-use space, so it's going to be exciting when that gets open.
Now,
when is that supposed to open?
In December.
December 15th.
That one's opening in December. Now, Brooke is also planning the Business Symposium, so let's talk a little bit about that. She knows some of the finer details of what's going to be going on. So take us through the Business Symposium for us, what people can expect on the date of the Business Symposium starting at 9 a.m.
Perfect. So, so registration starts at 9 a.m. All of our vendors are going to be ready and waiting to talk to all of our attendees about their different products and what they have going on for business and how to grow your business. And then at 10 o'clock, my favorite part is our strategic alliance, which is speed networking. So if you have never, in an hour, you literally get to jump from table to table, and you will walk away with a minimum of 21 business cards and people that you've never met before. So that is my favorite part of the entire day, and it goes extremely fast, but it's what people talk about. Then we have our lunch panel, which we have a couple of Shark Tank people that were featured on Shark Tank, and then of course the amazing Lisa Schock, who was listed as one of Oprah's favorite things in 2013.
Amazing toffee.
Amazing. Well, and she's an amazing person. We started out 8 years ago, and we were pounding the pavement together in South Tampa, and here she is, and it's actually really exciting because she is she's working with me on Savor the City too, which is awesome.
And that's Toffee to Go, right?
Toffee to Go.
On Beta Bay.
Yep, absolutely. That's where her storefront is. But since 2013 in Oprah, she now has a big production plant over in Pinellas.
Oh, my goodness.
So.
And then we're going to have some breakout sessions in the afternoon. Let's talk a little bit about some of the speakers that we're going to be seeing. First, we're going to have something on, we're going to have I shouldn't say something, we're going to have a podcasting with Glenn Hebert.
Absolutely. So our breakout sessions in the afternoon are going to be Glenn Hebert with podcasting, and we're going to have Lindsay Grinstead, and she's going to be talking about LinkedIn for Business. And then
Jeff and Judy Snyder are speaking about it's sales strategies or exit strategies. Exit strategies.
Yep.
And then Dave Kaufman's our
sales
strategist. So yes, so we got a full panel of speakers in addition to the Shark Tank panel. Let's talk to the audience about what's going to be going on during the lunch with the Shark Tank panel.
So Ashley Drummonds is with ABS Pancakes, and I'm not sure if it's ABS or ABS
It's
Pancakes.
ABS Pancakes.
But I can tell you that for all of the attendees there, they're actually going to be making them at their vendor table, so that's exciting. And then Easy Peas Brian, and I can never say his last name. I am so sorry.
It's complicated, yeah. It's like Klein. I think it's Kleinschmidt. Yes.
And he's going to be in attendance, and he's also going to have a table with his product there as well.
Yeah,
so.
And the Shark Tank panel are people that have been on Shark Tank, and so if you've got a product out there you've been wanting to know about how to get on Shark Tank, they can talk to you about it. And Ashley even got a deal with Dame and John, and she was in studio just last week and was talking about the deal and how it went. And she actually got within like 2% of what she was looking for. She asked for like $100,000 for 40% of the company. It was a realistic offer.
Right.
If you watch Shark Tank, that's the number one problem. They come in, they're asked for like $1 million investment for 5% of the company.
Yeah, right.
So,
and then they just totally turn them down.
yeah, and so that's actually one of the biggest tips that if you study Shark Tank that the sharks will give you is like make sure you understand numbers and valuation. Don't just come in there and give us some unrealistic valuation, because that's the number one reason they shoot down a lot of the offers and everything.
Well, and that's with everything. When you walk in and you're asking somebody for money, you're asking somebody to do something for you, or you're trying to go be a vendor at an event, know everything that goes along with that. Know if it's your target market. Know if you're actually going to make some sales. Know how many people are going to be there and how people are marketing, because those things is what is going to make your money work for you. I have a lot of vendors that are at craft fairs all the time, and they're $35, $45 to be at a vendor fair to sell their goods. But the problem is there's no marketing, because with that type of a pay-in for vendors, there's no money to market.
Right.
So if you come in and you say, oh, my vendor fee is $100, $200, $500, know that money is not going into the pocket of the event planner. It is going to marketing, which means if you're looking for 3,000 to 5,000 people there plus, that is going to take a good $5,000 to $10,000 worth of marketing dollars.
It's difficult. Tampa, and I've heard this from other people with just other events, it's difficult to drive people in Tampa to events. Joe Fedison, who was just in here yesterday, a big speaker out of New Jersey, relocated here to Tampa. He said he would, hand out some flyers, do a little bit of advertising. He'd have 100 people in the room in New Jersay. He said Tampa, he's lucky to get 4 or 5, with that little bit of effort. And so what can people do to drive more people to events? I mean, is Facebook advertising the way to go, or where should they be spending their dollars?
You have to kind of spread them out and utilize your relationships. So we talked about promotional partners and using sponsors to get into that world. But yeah, Facebook marketing, Facebook messages, Instagram messages and marketing, anything social media that you can get on and get the more word out, and put some dollars behind it, because honestly, that's where social media is going right now, is, that paid advertising. But then also putting your boots on the ground. I can tell you, as soon as the business symposium is over, that next 3 weeks leading up to Savor the City, I will be at every single networking event. So breakfast, lunch, and happy hour. People are going to see me all over the city.
And spreading the word.
And Savor the City, is this your first time doing this?
Yep, Savor the City is first year. I've been producing business events for the last 8 years in Tampa Bay, and it's my turn to give back to the community.
All right, let's hold that thought there. We'll talk about that in the next segment, because I know you're planning a big event and looking to get over 3,000 people in attendance for Savor the City. So we'll talk about that event when we come back for the break. Again, in studio with Brooke Borup, owner of My Clone Solution. Learn more at myclonesolution.com. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business.
How many times have you said to yourself, I wish there was an app for that? Stop wishing and start making the world better. Turn your brilliant idea into a profitable business by using Popcorn apps. Their affordable app design will help get your blue sky idea or proven business to the next level at a fraction of the cost of other developers. They will help you get through all the steps needed to make your thoughts become live. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
Who doesn't have a smartphone these days? And of course, there's an app for everything. Well, almost everything. That's why the folks at Popcorn Apps started developing mobile applications. They saw people like you with genius ideas, unable to make those thoughts a reality. They develop applications for tens of thousands of dollars less than you'll find anywhere else, and will turn your idea into a reality in a matter of just a few months. Think you're not ready? Think again. They are your one-stop shop for mobile application development. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today. Did you know the biggest challenge business leaders face today is creating an engaged and productive workforce culture? Bill Meyer Ham Consulting wants to help you solve this challenge. They will help you transform your workforce culture to produce amazing business results. Call Bill Meyer Ham Consulting at 941-201-4650 today, or visit BillMeyerHam.com. That's BillMeyerHam.com. Have a conversation. What's up, business rock stars? Are you ready to bring out the CEO in you? Join Julianne Nichols, CEO of Focus on You Strategy, every other Friday on That Business Show. She'll be talking with other chief entrepreneurial officers about how they grew their businesses. Remember, you could join the conversation at Focus on You Strategies Focus Fridays Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. That's facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. Be the CEO of you.
I knew Mom wanted to stay at home. It's the center of her family, her life. But helping Mom stay in her home while managing mine was just too much. Honestly, it wasn't just about me. Mom didn't want me to be her caretaker. She wanted me to be her daughter. I felt so alone until I found out about Home Instead Senior Care. When we met the people at Home Instead, we just knew they were different. The experience was personal. And most importantly, for Mom and me, I get to be her daughter again.
Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
Slow traffic once again this morning on State Road 54 in the eastbound direction approaching Trinity Boulevard. Crash there blocking the right and center lanes. Also slow traffic on southbound I-75 between Fowler Avenue and I-4. Southbound Veterans Expressway just a bit slow from the Dale Mabry extension down to around Hutchinson. And a crash in Pinellas County on 66th Street, 54th Avenue North. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Uterick. Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by McDonald's. Sip into a great morning with McDonald's McCafe Coffee. McDonald's McCafe Coffee is made with sustainable sourced 100% Arabica beans and brewed hot and fresh just for you. Enjoy any size hot McCafe coffee for $1. Only at McDonald's for a limited time.
Today, partly sunny with just a 10% chance of showers, high 88. Tonight, mostly clear, low 70. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a 10% rain chance, high 87.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to That Business Show, now with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business. Talking to Brooke Borup, owner of My Clone Solution, and also about the upcoming Business Symposium being held Friday, October 28th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tickets available over at TampaBayRadio.com, and they are $39 for TBBO members and $59 for non-members, and that does include lunch. And so your next event after that, Savor the Flavor. Let's talk a little bit more specifically about this.
Savor the City.
Or Savor the City. Savor the Flavor.
Savor the Flavor sounds good, too.
Savor the City is being held out on the USF campus at the Galleria building. And we are expecting 3,000 to 5,000 people coming through over the course of Saturday dinner and Sunday lunch and dinner. We have entertainment. The LOTP Band is going to be there. Thanch is going to be playing, and she's also going to be emceeing for us over the weekend. Lots of kids play things that are going to be happening, as well as adult games and activities. It is on campus, and it is a food and gifts expo. So our whole goal for our attendees that are coming is to taste, to savor some of our local restaurants here in Tampa Bay, and to have them be able to walk away with all of their Christmas gifts. For
and this
their
is going to be
family.
a free event for attendees, correct?
It is.
How do people register and get information on this event?
So anybody that wants to go to savorthecity.org can see everything that we have going on, a list of all of our vendors with clickable links to all of them. And you can register for more information right now, or you can just buy your food tickets. So it is free to come and join the entertainment and everything that we have going on, buy your gifts. If you want to eat, then you buy your food tickets, and all of our vendors will be offering tasting portions. So you literally can taste your way around Tampa Bay.
Is the vendors have to be food vendors? I mean, are there openings for vendors in other areas of business?
Absolutely. So we have our premium vendors, which are indoors. Inside Galleria, we have about 40 spots for our premium vendors, and all of our food vendors will be in there. And then we have outdoor vendors, both patio and lawn, and those are for our craft vendors, for people that want to come and sell their wares. So if your business picks up during the holiday season, you really want to be here.
Now, do you I also want to say the idea for the event? You said that you wanted to give back to the community. Where did the idea for this come from?
So I've had different charities call me all the time to help them with fundraising and sponsorship and all that kind of stuff, like I'm sure you do as well. And so what I did is I picked the Pace Center for Girls. I'm actually teaching an internship program about event planning with 5 girls at the Pace Center. So they are going to be there helping us, and they've been actually reaching out to Tampa Bay businesses to actually be vendors at our event. So we talked about creative marketing, right? And so these girls are excited to be there. They've never been part of anything like this before. And so this is my way to give back. No Kid Hungry is our other charity that we have, which is strictly monetary, and that's for Hillsborough County. And then we have a bunch of door prizes and giveaways and stuff for a couple other charities, like Blanket Tampa Bay. Beth Ross, who has been on your show before, she is one of our charity vendor or charity sponsors. And Birthday Candles for Kids, which is a 12 and 16-year-old that started this nonprofit that gives birthday parties to kids in situations that would normally not be able to ever have a great birthday party.
And again, this event is free to attend. If they want to eat, then they can purchase a food ticket, and then there'll be entertainment there. It's a 2-day event.
It's a 2-day event. Saturday, the 19th of November from 5 to 8 p.m. and the 20th of November from 12 to 8.
So how long does it take to plan and work on the production of an event that's for 3,000 to 5,000 people over the weekend?
So honestly, all of your ticket sales come in the last month. So I've been planning this event in my head for a year, been planning it on paper for about 4.5 months, and this right now is crunch time. So Business Symposium is #1 priority right now, but all of the Savor the City stuff is happening in the background. And like I said, 4 o'clock on October 28th, it is feet to the ground, and everybody's going to be hearing about Savor the City all over Tampa Bay.
And we got about 30 seconds left. My Clone Solution event production, but you also work a virtual assistant. Do you have a quick pitch of what My Clone Solution is then?
So My Clone Solution is your back office assistance for all small businesses that can't afford a full-time assistant. If you're looking to get projects done, if you're looking to outsource any part of your small business administrative stuff, just give us a call. We can have a consultation, and I can tell you what we can help you with.
All right. Brooke Borup, owner of My Clone Solution, also helping us out with the Business Symposium. Again, get tickets over at TampaBayRadio.com, and then get an invite to the event on the 20th as well. So it's a 2-for-1 deal over at TampaBayRadio.com. Brooke, thank you so much.
Yeah, good luck with the event.
Thanks.
We'll be back in a moment.
I feel guilty that I can't always be there when Mom feels stuck at home. She was always there for us. But now she can't get out, and I'm not always available to take her places. Someone else needs to help her get around. Then I learned about Home Instead. Now Mom can do what she enjoys because her personal caregiver is there, and I can just be a daughter again.
Are you struggling to care for your loved one? We can help. Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
At Trinity, causing big delays. The right and center lanes are blocked here. Crash in Tampa, Bush Boulevard and 20th Street. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Udrich, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by the Extragen Temporal Scanner Thermometer. As a busy parent, taking your child's temperature shouldn't be as stressful as fighting through traffic. With the Extragen Temporal Scanner Thermometer, one gentle scan of the forehead is all it takes. If only the commute were that easy. Pick one up at Walgreens or other fine retailers.
1250 winds, weather center forecast. Partly sunny skies, upper 80s, near 90 for the high today. Overnight low in the upper 60s, should remain relatively dry all day. Forecast tomorrow, temperatures down just a bit in the mid-80s, and still looking at those upper 70s for the upcoming weekend. Impact Radio, 1250 winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Winds WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to That Business Show, now with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business. Monday through Friday, 7 to 9, live video stream available over at TampaBayRadio.com. And please connect with us all throughout the social media sites, Facebook.com/That Business Show, where you'll see a number of short video clips, most of them due in large part to our next guest here, Matt Ashwood of Songbird Agency, and also handling the social media here in studio live every morning, and chiming in this morning with the weekly What's Trending segment. And he's also opened up a Facebook group called What's Trending, so I'm sure he invites you over to that as well.
Yeah, come check it out.
Come check it out. And so he gives you lots of social media tips, and we're going to start with one today, Facebook's shop. Tell us about this.
Yeah, if some of you may have gotten the update yesterday, I did on my iPhone. I don't know if Android has it yet, but they've made a prominent feature on Facebook which is called, I think it's called Shop, but essentially it's like a localized eBay. So you can click the button, just see who's selling stuff in your area. It's pretty simple to use, simple to find things. But what gets me excited about that feature is now it's developing a new behavior in Facebook users into doing your shopping, buying things in the social network. So if you're selling things online, soon people will be more inclined to buy your stuff while they're in Facebook rather than having to leave for your website. So it's kind of exciting for people in the e-commerce industry to now be able to tap into that new market.
This shop feature has always been there, though, right? Because I've put what it costs to be on the program and different packages on there. How is it different from what was there to begin with?
Yeah, so they've had that where they had the products available on someone's Facebook site. What's different about this now is that it's more prominent and more in your face. Like it's the middle feature on Facebook, so people are more aware of it and more likely to use it. So then they're more likely to buy your products if they see it on Facebook as opposed to elsewhere.
That's probably one of the reasons why it's important to do updates on your phone.
Yeah.
You get new features. Is that why I'm supposed to do updates? I'm not quite sure how long it's been.
The phone should do it automatically unless you've turned off automatic updates.
I just keep hitting remind me later.
Yeah, Facebook updates their app every 2 weeks. So
Does it? I'm missing many then.
Yeah.
Probably why I feel so out of the loop with social media.
There you go. So, but you also just recently started posting again on social media as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back
and she needs,
into the world of the living.
She needs the complete, social media education. She was asking what a hashtag was earlier today.
Oh, yeah. I hate to admit that.
So Mac
that's a common question. I get it all the time.
I see it all the time. In fact, I use it occasionally because that's what you're supposed to do, but I have no idea why I'm doing
You're blindly following. You have no idea what you're following.
Right.
There,
so it's part of the Instagram and Twitter culture to use hashtags. And the purpose of it, because what the hashtags are doing when you put a hashtag in your tweet or in your Instagram post, it groups it with other content that also use that same hashtag.
The pound sign isn't even a pound sign anymore, or a number sign. It's a hashtag now.
It's a hashtag, yes.
Right.
And do people actually go to those hashtag feeds, though? I think I've asked this before.
So like one common way to use it is when the debates happen, people use hashtag debates, and then you can click that hashtag to see what everyone else is talking about that.
But
that
other
debate.
people use that hashtag for stuff that's unrelated too, and drive attention to whatever it is that they want to say.
Right. There's especially on Instagram, you use a ton of hashtags. A lot of it are just ways to get more likes on your post. But if you're strategic as a marketer, you can use certain hashtags to pull people towards what you're doing. So for instance, for the show, we might use hashtags like Tampa Bay business, Tampa Bay marketers, professionals, something.
Just tag words then. Like
tag words because
or even event planning, we do tag. You do tagline. Right. So it's the same concept.
Right. Yeah, but you're just looking at it helps with discovery. So as people are looking for other people talking about the same thing that you're talking about, they'll discover you through that hashtag.
Okay, so Facebook I've somewhat mastered because you can write or type as long as you want. Okay, so Twitter I'm so challenged because I talk too much. So every time I start to type, I get cut off. It says you've exceeded the maximum characters. So how how
does she express herself
in few words or less?
Yeah, so that's a skill you want to work on. Twitter, I recommend getting on there, practicing how to talk shorter.
Shorter.
Conan O'Brien raves about Twitter because that's what helped him work on his jokes. He had to figure out how to tell a joke in 140 characters, so that's why he loved Twitter.
Simplicity, I guess. Maybe that's
Yeah, because when you look around other social platforms like Facebook, if you're writing more than 140 characters, less people are likely going to read it.
Yeah, if you got some
because
Facebook
they don't want to read that
there.
much.
Yeah, people.
So you want
short and sweet.
So even though they don't have that character limit, you want to imagine that there is that character limit.
Okay,
sometimes.
even going back to Instagram, I've heard so many things back and forth. Like Instagram is for the younger generation, or this or that, but everyone has their own opinions on Instagram. I'm hearing that it has a bigger influence now. Yeah. I guess it depends on your demographic, and I don't know. Yeah. What is your opinion on Instagram?
I think I'd have to check the numbers, but over 300 million active users, and a large demographic that's growing on there are the moms.
I thought it was recipes.
And
that was Pinterest.
Oh,
Pinterest.
Is that Pinterest? Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, Instagram's a popular place because it's simple to use. It's just photos. And it's less politics than on Facebook. So I think I'm seeing a lot of people escape to Instagram because they're tired of the Facebook political discussion and drama going on there. So they'll go to Facebook and have fun over there.
Okay, so then so you'll post to Facebook, right? And then what if you want to share that on multiple platforms? I know they have like Hootsuite where you can then share to multiple, or even the Constant Contact. Sometime we'll share to them. But if I go to Facebook and I do a post, I'm not going to go to Twitter and do the same post. How redundant is that? And then I'm going to Instagram and do the same post again?
Yeah. So what I do especially is I'm aware of who's on what network, who's on what social network. So there's some things I'll only ever share on Facebook, some things I'll only share on Instagram, some things I'll only share on Twitter because it's different people on those networks for different purposes. Yeah.
Who's following?
And Twitter's drowning out though, right? Twitter's it's up for sale, right? Did it sell yet?
Yeah,
no?
There's they got a lot of talk recently about people looking to buy them, making big changes. They need a big change or something because they are dying out. The only reason they're probably around is because when these debates go on, it is still the place for live conversation. So as these as these political debates are going on, people are on there talking about them while watching the debate and other live events like sports and things like that. But that live event is really the only thing that's really helping Twitter. So they really need to grow by, in my opinion, by simplifying finding a way to make it easier for new people to use Twitter, because there's a big learning curve. It took me 2 years before I realized how Twitter really worked. Mm-hmm. And
how does it really work?
So it really is the pure social network, because what I didn't realize initially is that you can talk to everyone and anyone, and and that's a normal thing on Twitter.
Yeah, when you address somebody, you got to address them by their Twitter handle.
Right, right. And there's like little technical things you need to know like that. But essentially, what I love about Twitter is you can start a conversation with anyone in the world about anything, and it's normal. In Facebook, you only really talk to your friends, and that's what's normal. But Twitter, it's the whole world you're able to talk to.
Now, your Facebook group, What's Trending, this is open to the public. Anybody can join, right? It's not a private group or anything?
Just search on Facebook. Just enter in the search bar What's Trending group. It should come up. There's only about 100 members in there right now. We'll be growing.
But it's a good business tip to start a Facebook group, because that becomes your network. Start building it as soon as you can, because it does take time to build up a group or a page or whatnot, and it's very valuable. How would you respond?
Yeah, so because I'll only post, like we were talking about posting things through different social networks, I'll post only certain things that are appropriate for that group in there. So there's not everyone else sees the stuff I post unless you're in that Facebook group.
All right. Well, good discussion here on this What's Trending segment with Matt Ashwood of the Songbird Agency. Also, mattashwood.me, right? That's your site where people can reach out to you directly for social media. Again, mattashwood.me. Coming back for a break, we're going to be talking with Roy Stegman, who is a audio producer and also founder of the Complete Audio Producer podcast. So we're doing a little podcasting talk as well when we come back from the break. You're listening to That Business Show, Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
How many times have you said to yourself, I wish there was an app for that? Stop wishing and start making the world better. Turn your brilliant idea into a profitable business by using Popcorn apps. Their affordable app design will help get your blue sky idea or proven business to the next level at a fraction of the cost of other developers. They will help you get through all the steps needed to make your thoughts become live. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
At Vein 911, we will help you feel great again. Do you have restless legs, night leg cramps, or ankle swelling? Restless legs, cramping, swelling, and tired heavy legs are often symptoms of hidden vein disease. You do not have to have visible bulging veins to have the symptoms of vein disease. The vein care specialists at Vein 911 are uniquely qualified to evaluate and treat your veins. Are you unhappy with your previous vein treatment? Vein 911 succeeds where others fail. Call Vein 911 today at 855-VEIN-911. That's 855-834-6911 to book your free consultation. Vane 911. We will help you feel great again.
Who doesn't have a smartphone these days? And of course, there's an app for everything. Well, almost everything. That's why the folks at Popcorn Apps started developing mobile applications. They saw people like you with genius ideas, unable to make those thoughts a reality. They develop applications for tens of thousands of dollars less than you'll find anywhere else, and will turn your idea into a reality in a matter of just a few months. Think you're not ready? Think again. They are your one-stop shop for mobile application development. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today. Did you know the biggest challenge business leaders face today is creating an engaged and productive workforce culture? Bill Meyer Ham Consulting wants to help you solve this challenge. They will help you transform your workforce culture to produce amazing business results. Call Bill Meyer Ham Consulting at 941-201-4650 today, or visit BillMeyerHam.com. That's BillMeyerHam.com. Have a conversation.
From the RP Funding Traffic Network.
Serious crash in Lowman on northbound 49th Street north of 54th Avenue North. All lanes are shut down on 49th Street. You'll have to use 34th Street as your alternate in the northbound direction. Also, a crash on State Road 54 eastbound direction at Trinity, causing big delays. The right and center lanes are blocked here. Crash in Tampa, Bush Boulevard and 20th Street. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Udrich, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by St. Pete Clearwater International Airport. Pi makes people happy with low-cost fares, non-stop flights, and exciting new destinations to part to 57 cities, now including Cleveland, Ohio. St. Pete Clearwater International Airport. Going away? Check PIE today.
Today, partly sunny with just a 10% chance of showers, high 88. Tonight, mostly clear, low 70. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a 10% rain chance, high 87.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to That Business Show, now with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business. Time to bring in my next guest for the program. I have Roy Stegman, who is a audio producer and also founder of the Complete Audio Producer podcast, and also a fellow rocker like myself, except he actually plays in a band. I just listen to the band. So, Roy, welcome to the program today.
Welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. So, you just finished the first season of the Complete Audio Producer podcast. Tell me a little bit about your podcast.
Well, the podcast, we cover the three different aspects of being an audio producer: the technical, creative, and entrepreneurial. And each episode is between 5 and 10 minutes. In fact, I think our longest one was about 15 minutes. And it's just mainly me talking about the topic of the week through the episode. And
so what all goes into audio production myself? I mean, I don't really understand AV and all that. So, like, what are some of the topics that you cover on the Audio Producer podcast?
Some of them are kind of hot topics, kind of like stuff that the independent producer might be thinking about and not wondering what other people are doing. Say, like, for instance, the usage of auto-tune and how it fixes pitches. And one of the episodes, I was just talking only about that on vocals, in which mine 2 cents, not just repeat it, but is that it's great for writing, but it's always not. It's never going to be as good as having it done properly on a good take.
Because I've heard that now anybody can be a singer these days with audio or an auto tune. Is that true that anybody can step into a vocal booth and then belt out a song and then you can adjust it and they can sound amazing? Is that true?
Not entirely. I mean, you can probably get it to where it's decent with a person. In fact, what's been quite popular as almost like a meme is where there's news footage or new footage of a politician giving a speech, and then they just take what they're saying and then auto-tune it to fit to a rap song or something like that, which is easy to do with the auto-tune technology that we have.
So what is auto-tune? Does it enhance the voice, or does it change how the person sounds, or what does it do exactly?
It just corrects the pitch.
Oh, okay.
I mean, and auto-tune is like a de facto, because it was one of the first plugins to actually do that, but then there's also other plugins like Celemoni's Melodyne and and waves tune light or just tune. And the advantage that some of these others have is that you can actually tweak the formant, which is how the singer is actually forming their mouth and pronouncing.
So I could sound like Beyonce?
Close.
do most singers today then, when they get on stage, because this is something I noticed, like they get on stage and they don't sound like anything like they do on the record. I mean, in older days, were people more real or versus today when they're more produced in studio today?
Well, it depends. When it comes to performance-wise, there's a lot of many factors that are going into it. Say like when singers in a recording studio, they're using very sensitive mics. They're also in a very controlled environment. They don't have distractions. They don't have to move around. They can just stand there and just perform. When they're performing live, they're more than likely using either a headset if they're doing a lot of dancing, or they're using a dynamic mic, which would change the sound.
Yeah, and
somewhat
who
as
can
well.
dance around like that and sound normal, right? You think you'd be out of breath and.
Well, that's why a lot of pop stars actually perform to a pre-recorded track, and some of them have gotten.
Is that commonplace that performers are lip syncing on stage at performances, or is that group specific?
At least with pop singers, more often than not.
If they're dancing.
They're dancing, okay.
If they're singing and dancing, like I think Paula Abdul had to do that a lot because her dance routines were so rigorous. That was there's no way you can dance like that and then sing and still match the pitches without sounding winded.
And does she put that out publicly that she does that and that's accepted by her audience, or do they expect her to be singing and that's just kind of one of the things that they sweep under the rug that, oh yeah, she's performing live?
I think it's probably the latter.
Yeah. I recently saw like Motley Crue, Vince Neil getting older these days, and I was right up front, and I was just watching his voice versus what I was hearing, and it did not line up at all. I could have sworn he was lip syncing as well. With the rock bands that are out there, is that commonplace too? Especially these older bands now, as us guys who like the 80s rock and everything, now they're in their senior years, geriatric years, and really can't sing as well as they used to be. So are they?
Well, with rock bands, it's much less commonplace. Usually with the vocals and them lining up, another factor that might be the case is there's in some PA systems there's also a time delay between when they're actually speaking into the mic and when it actually goes through the speakers.
So he may have well been singing it, just because of the time delay. I may not have realized it or noticed it because of that.
That's possible. You have to pay close attention to how they're performing it too, and we've been to 98 Rock Fest, and there have been times where they have some stuff that's pre-recorded in the background, like say like Disturbed. They have a lot of the additional industrial beats and additional orchestral things to a pre-recorded track, but after watching our show, I think they might even have that even timed with their pyro and lighting, so they know where to be at a particular spot in the song.
Right, they definitely don't want to step into that pyro like James Hetfield did back in the early 90s. He stepped into a pyro blast and nearly killed himself on that back when they were performing with Guns N' Roses. Now, your daily job working with audio production, tell me a little bit about your services, how they work, who would hire you, who do you work with?
All right, I do audio production consulting and services, and that is pretty much a broad spectrum. Some of my clients would be podcasters and radio technicians, to even people that are putting on live sound and they have the equipment but they need someone to run the board. For instance, I've done corporate events, and then I've also done live sound events with bands and things like that. And on a digital board, whatever, it's like a bag of Legos to me. I can make them work, or teach a person how to make it work. And
so digital board meaning like a producer, like behind the window.
Like what Steven's doing back there.
So is that digital board? Is that what you mean?
Oh, what I mean by digital board is that it's somehow tied into a computer where they're using digital effects for all their processing. In fact, the boards today, you don't even need the board itself. You can run it all through an app on a tablet, and then you just have the actual box that it plugs into, which I've also used in corporate events as well. And well, on top of that, moving on to say like musical bands that are needing to move their actually get some good recordings. That's another thing that I also offer, music production, where I'm actually sitting at the producer helm, figuring out how to record the album to actually reach the vision that they're intending for their audience.
I just see in production studios there's big huge boards with all those buttons and stuff. It seems very complicated to mix and create audio productions. Are those boards getting simpler these days with technology and being condensed down to nothing more than an app, or is that we still going to see these huge production boards in studios?
Simple question. The simple answer is it depends. Well, basically, if everybody's working as in a term in the industry that we say is in the box, where it's all done in the computer, there's nothing analog being used, those are going to continue to get smaller and being ran on, even controlled by a mouse. In many cases today they are. And there's also some innovations where they think more about the interface, where it's a board just for the people that like moving faders and knobs, but it's still making the changes in the box. Now, there are still going to be large consoles, but those are for the people that want to make use of the analog sound of those boards. Even though the fewer and fewer are being made today, because digital technology has been able to emulate just about every aspect of analog.
To what degree did you have to train your ear to learn audio production versus having a natural talent? It's sort of like, with food. Certain people can taste certain things and just know when something isn't right. I don't have that ability. I don't really have that ability. I think when I'm listening to audio, it sounds great. It may don't sound the best, but I really don't know what to do with it. I mean, did you have to train yourself, or did some of that just come natural? Are you hearing elements to the music that maybe somebody's not hearing, for instance?
I think that's just natural, isn't it? You just hear it.
It depends. I've been saying that quite a bit, but when it comes to hearing the sounds, a lot of it can be trained, but it's also depends on how much a person can pay attention to. I had a colleague of mine that went to the same engineering school that I did, and I don't know if his hearing is as good as mine or not, but he's told me once and many instances where he was interning at a big recording studio, and the engineer that was training him was making all kinds of little tweaks on the equalization, and he's tells him, well, you don't hear that? Well, it's very difficult for a person to perceive. In fact, a lot of my leaps and bounds personally that I made in mixing have been after I graduated, and I also noticed that when I go to a lot of these local colleges that are teaching audio production, and I listen to their demos of what their students do, and I'm like, yeah, they know basically how to get there, but to go further, they still need to spend time to get better.
Have you seen Begin Again? I love that, and he puts all the music and stuff. He hears like just her sing, and he puts all the instruments with it. It's a great movie. Well,
we got to wrap up. We can't don't have time to get that question in. But Roy Stegman, audio producer and of the Complete Audio Producer podcast. Thank you so much for being in studio.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll be back in a moment.
The proceeding was a commercial program paid for by Maloney Productions. The